Hey there, welcome back to Cate's Corner. This week we're going to be making aromatherapy Play-Doh. This not only smells absolutely delicious, it's also very easy to make with a few staples found right in your pantry, and it makes for a great multisensory mindfulness tool for kids and adults. So let's go ahead and make it together, and then we'll talk about how you can use it. Let's talk ingredients. So, to make Play-Doh about this size, you're gonna need the following. 1/3 cup of warm to hot water, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of cooking salt. I have this just regular kosher salt in my cabinet, a tablespoon of any kind of cooking oil. I've got vegetable oil here, but you're welcome to use canola, olive oil, coconut oil, really whatever's in your pantry. And then to customize, some food dye. So whatever kind of food coloring you have, if you have some, you can choose to make your Play-Doh any color you want. And the same goes for customizing the scent. So for that, we're gonna use essential oils. I have lavender here, but you're welcome to use eucalyptus, citrus, lemon, really anything that sounds good to you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so your first step is going to be mixing that 1/3 cup of warm or hot water with your 1/4 cup of cooking salt. I'm just gonna put those together, stir them up in here. Now the goal is to get these as dissolved as possible, so you've got like a nice, consistent water. All right. Once that's done, you're gonna add in your tablespoon of cooking oil. And you're gonna wanna mix that in a little bit too. All right, time for that 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And this is where you're gonna start to get dough. So I'm gonna go ahead, try and show you guys what I've got in here. Slowly starting to form a dough. And you're just gonna wanna mix and mix. And once it starts to get doughy enough, then you can go ahead and put it in your hands instead to knead it. And knead it maybe like you would a bread if you've made bread at home or biscuits. And pour it right out onto your countertop and just start kneading. And you'll see it's starting to come together. Look a little bit more like Play-Doh there. And just pick up any extra pieces that fell off onto your counter and mix them in. All right. Now it's time to decide what color you would like your Play-Doh. So for today, I'm gonna go ahead and make mine blue. In order to do that, I'm just gonna make a little well in the middle of my Play-Doh. I'm gonna drop my color in. Let's see how much. Looks good to me. That's what you got in there. Now, I'm just gonna keep kneading it like I was before. Get that color nice and mixed in. Now this is a good time to mention that a really good way to get food dye off your hands is to mix olive oil and some salt, kind of create a little scrub, and just go ahead and scrub it off. So you'll see here, the color is starting to mix in. Got a little bit of a tie-dye effect going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep kneading. Did I mention this craft came with a workout? Alrighty. Whew, I think we are done here. Officially have this beautiful baby blue color for my dough. So our last step is to customize the scent of your dough. I like to think about which scents we're choosing and why. It might be something you want to ask yourself or your kids. What scents come to mind? What would you want your Play-Doh to smell like? Okay, what does that scent remind you of? Remind you of a specific place, a specific time, or how does that scent make you feel? I know for me, I picked lavender, not because it reminds me of a specific place, but because it reminds me of a specific feeling. Lavender gives me this really relaxed, calm feeling, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my dough. We're gonna use the same technique, which is to make a well with your thumb in the middle of your dough. And I think 3 to 5 drops should do it, but it's really up to you how scented you want your Play-Doh to be. All right. And our technique for mixing that in is gonna be the same as the color. Back to that workout, gonna go ahead and knead it in. If you're wondering how or when to use your mindfulness dough, the answer is pretty much any way you want and any time. Whether you decide that you're gonna make something out of the Play-Doh or just feel it in your hands, it creates an amazing opportunity for a multisensory mindfulness break. Some things you might want to consider asking yourself or your kids while you're playing with this dough are how it makes you feel. And we're talking about multiple senses of feeling, right? So maybe closing your eyes and just thinking about how it feels in your hands. What is that texture like for you? What does it remind you of? And again, that scent. Why pick that scent? Does it remind you of a place? Does it make you feel a certain way? These are all great things to think about while you're playing with your mindfulness dough.